cracking the code on the greatest of all time. This is the GOAT Code. He was born in Los Angeles, California on November 18th, 1956. At Hamilton High School, he was voted All-City at quarterback, but with no real interest from big colleges, he enrolled at West LA Junior College. His outstanding play there got the attention of the University of Washington. He joined the Huskies and led them to a Pac-8 championship and a victory over Michigan in the Rose Bowl. In spite of his MVP performance in the Rose Bowl, he was advised that, at best, he might be a late-round NFL draft pick. So 6 weeks before the 1978 draft, he signed with Canadian Football League's Edmonton Eskimos. From the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2006, one of the most prolific passers of all time, Warren Moon. Warren
John,
Moon.
good to see you, John. How are you,
Great
man?
to see you. Thank you so much for coming on the GOAT Code.
Thanks for having me, man.
Growing up in LA,
Yes.
what was it like playing quarterback in your era in LA? There were not a lot of quarterbacks who looked like you.
There weren't, and I knew that was going to be a difficult thing when I started playing this position, but it was a natural position for me, and I didn't see myself playing any other position. I was a natural leader. I was more mature for my age at that time because of the things I went through at my house, becoming the man of the house when my dad passed away, to go along with having a pretty good arm at my young age.
A lot of people, especially at a young age, look for the path of least resistance. You did the opposite.
Yeah.
You said, I'm going down the path I want to go down, no matter how much resistance there is.
Yeah, and again, you don't know what you have to deal with at the time. All I knew is there wasn't a lot of guys that looked like me playing the position, but I didn't know how difficult it was going to be, so I was just going to let my abilities take their course and see where I stood after all of that. That's all I really wanted, was an equal opportunity.
In spite of challenges off the field, on the field, he piled up historic numbers. In his first 5 seasons in the CFL, Moon led the Edmonton Eskimos to an unprecedented 5 consecutive Grey Cup championships. And when he moved to the NFL, he became one of the best passers in the league, with 9 trips to the Pro Bowl. His jaw-dropping statistics were the result of powerful biomechanics.
I studied a lot of baseball pitchers like Nolan Ryan and Oral Hershiser and guys like that. And I knew how important mechanics were to throwing the football. And a lot of it has to do more with your hips and the torque in the middle part of your body than it does in your arm. Your arm has very little to do with it, believe it or not. If you're using your whole body and your legs, like I really trained a lot on my legs because pitchers did that a lot.
Like the pitching greats who he studied, Moon knew that the key to throwing with velocity and strength is the ability to transfer energy from the ground sequentially through your body. The links in what's called the kinetic chain include ankles, knees, hips, torso, shoulders, elbow, and wrists. This kinetic linking is how Warren Moon was able to generate an internal shoulder rotation of roughly 7,000 degrees per second. That's more than 3 times faster than the blades of a helicopter. And those biomechanics resulted in passes that we've clocked leaving his hand at 64 miles per hour. That's faster than velocities reported for quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Now, you're not the biggest quarterback ever. You're not the fastest, but almost everyone unanimously will say you threw the best spiral. How?
A lot of it had to do with my forefinger fingernail. If the fingernail on my forefinger was the right length, it made that ball spin like a top. And even when the ball came off of that fingernail, you'd see cuts in the ball.
In fact, spinning like a top is exactly what a football spiral does. Both rely on angular momentum and what's called gyroscopic precession, the small circular motion of the axis of rotation. This stabilizes the motion and makes it more resistant to external forces like air resistance. And when it leaves his hand, a Warren Moon spiral is spinning about 10 times per second. That's as fast as the blades of a wood chipper.
Moon uncorks a deep ball. Touchdown! Touchdown! Warren Moon is rewriting the record books.
One last question. For all the youngsters out there who are looking up to Warren Moon, what is one thing that you would tell them to do to unleash the greatness inside of them?
You've got to have great confidence in yourself that you can do whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. But you have to prepare yourself, and you have to be ready when opportunity comes if it's not coming when you expect it. And that's what I was able to do. I didn't get down on myself because things weren't happening as fast as I wanted them to. I continued to keep working, so when that opportunity did come, when that knock came on the door, I was ready.
Warren Moon, thrilled just to be in your presence.
Well, thanks for having me, John.
God
Really
bless you,
appreciate
man.
it, brother.
So let's crack the GOAT code for Warren Moon. Between the CFL and the NFL, Moon threw for more than 70,000 yards. That's more than 40 miles. In the two leagues combined, 435 passing touchdowns. And when he retired from the NFL, Moon ranked third all-time in passing yardage and fourth in touchdown passes. Underneath all of these mind-blowing stats, you'll find a bedrock of intangibles like leadership, perseverance, and an unwavering, singular focus on being the best quarterback in the NFL. Those are the factors of the code that make Warren Moon a true GOAT. For the GOAT Code, I'm John Brinkus.